books. In that particular case, booked is a one table, publisher is another table, book underscore publisher is another table. So if we define one to many association from both the entities, it is going to create a mapping table called as a book underscore table. And to define that relationship, we wrote yesterday, like what we wrote here. Maybe let me go to the code directly. So where we wrote the code is, we went to, one second guys. Here in the model class, let me go to book.java, which is equal to book ID as well as book name. These are the normal columns. But here I'm going to write many to many associations where cascade type, whenever you do any changes, all means all changes, like insert operation, update operation, delete operation, as well as retrieve operation. Whenever you do any changes, it will propagate the change to book underscore publisher as well as publisher table. That is cascade. Fetch type is equal to lazy as well as eager. Whenever you feel that a fetch is about eager fetch, when you are asking data on a publisher table, it will go to, when you're asking for a book table, it will internally go to publisher table as well as it will go to book underscore publisher table. By default, book table, publisher table, book underscore publisher table, it will by default give. Whereas if you are going with the publisher entity, lazy entity, if you are asking for book publisher, it will give only publisher. If you ask for book only, it will give book. On demand, it will go to the tables. So that is a lazy fetch. And by default, join table is annotation, which is going to create a mapping table. The name of the mapping table is book underscore publisher, where two columns are there. One column is called as a join column, and another column is called as an inverse join column. Okay, where join column is nothing but book ID, which is mapping to book underscore ID. Inverse join column is a publisher ID, which is mapping to publisher underscore ID. So this is what I mentioned. And also, if I go to the same relationship from publisher point of view, where we can consider that as a one as a parent and another as a child. Here I took book as a parent and a publisher as a child, where we can write mapped by. What is the mapped by is nothing but already the same definition is available in the publisher's property. Just we use the same relationship. That is what yesterday I have explained. This is so far yesterday I explained. Anyone has any question so far before I proceed further? As of now, anyone has any questions, guys?
Sir, once you can explain mapped by once again.
Sure. Mapped by is nothing but already I defined the entire relationship in this particular annotation. Like cascade type is all, fetch type is eager, join table is book underscore publisher, and join column is book ID, publisher inverse join column publisher ID. The same relationship is also available in publisher to book, book to publisher as well as publisher to book. Mapped by is nothing but the relationship is already there on the property publishers. This is a property, right? Publishers. I am referring that particular property mapped by is equal to publishers, so that the same relation it will apply. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Any other questions, guys?
Sir, one. Sir, if the relationship is not many to many, like one to many, so
then you no need to use mapped by. You don't need to write here. One to many is what? Only from one side only, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So from book to publisher only, you'll no need to write to publisher to book, right? Then this entire things are not there. And I will explain one to many in security topic. I will, anyhow, in security, I have a situation, I wrote one to many there. I'll explain that. Okay. And you can easily go with one to one is directly, many to one is only pending thing. We can go with that. Okay. Right.
Okay. Sir.
Any other? As of now, any other questions? Guys, there are 7 participants joined late. Again, I'm telling, at least the count is increased. I hope you people know at what time you joined after 9:05. 7 participants joined after 9:05. kindly requesting tomorrow, please requesting to join early. Okay. 7 participants. Yesterday 24 participants and today 7 participants. I want tomorrow it will make to 0. Everyone should be available so that I'll feel happy, you'll feel happy. Okay. Right. Today I'm going to write a code, which is nothing but I need to write the data. Okay. How I'm going to write the data is, you see here, very, very beautiful logic I wrote here. Okay. How easily I wrote the code. Publisher book has set we don't have a publisher constructor. I need to have a publisher constructor. Okay. Person service dot save all books. Right. Person service dot get. Did we not read get person service? Find all books we wrote, right? It's not coming. Right. Okay. Now you see the code, guys. Did you see anything I wrote without, no database code at all? What is my data here? Very, very careful observation. I want everyone. Book, first I'll write publisher data, because book is parent, publisher is child, right? First I'll define child data, right? Publisher is equal to Mr. Abdul Kalam sir, first record, Stephen Covey, second record, Chetan Bhagat, third record, author 2, author 3, Nazir. A, B, C, D, E, F. Clear? Next. While creating, that's what, right? What is ORM principle? Every Java class is a table. Every Java property is a column. Every instance is a row, isn't it? This is a row, 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 this is a total 6 rows. Correct? While creating book, I'm telling, right? Wings of Fire is written by Abdul Kalam sir. Wings of Fire is a book. It is created by publisher A. Only one publisher wrote. 7 Habits, only one publisher wrote. 2 State, one publisher only wrote. But whereas book 2 is written by author 2 comma author 3. Book 2, author 3, author 2, publisher D, publisher E. Isn't it? One too many from book to publisher. One too many from book to publisher. Next. One too many from publisher to book. Book E, book 5, written by Nazir, book 6, written by Nazir. This is one publisher, multiple books. One too many from publisher to book. So you see, it's a core Java code only, right? Very simple code only, right? Yes or no? How simple I write the code in Java? This much of big relationship. And I'm saving all the books, book A, book B, book C, book D, book E, book F. If I save parent, it will save child also, right? Because I mentioned cascade type dot all. If you insert book, it will insert book, it will insert publisher, it will insert book underscore publisher, everything. And find all books, it is going to get all the books table. So is that clear, guys? Any questions here? Can we see the execution? Can we see execution, guys? As of now, anyone has any question in this code? Someone please confirm. Any questions by anyone?
Yeah, we are clear. At least I am clear.
Thank you. Thank you, Sridhar. Thank you. Okay, please let me know if you don't have, if you're following, if you're having a problem. Okay, I'm going to write save publishers. This I need to call, right? Right. Insert that. I'm going to execute this code. Before I execute this code, what is the database name I have? 9 to 10 ticket batch. Okay. So you see here, no book table. All those things are not there, right? Table underscore person. We have old data only, right? So we don't have any book table. We don't have publisher table. We don't have book underscore publisher table. Okay. So by default, we are going to have run as Springboot app. You saw a lot of things happened here. First, it created book underscore publisher table. Book ID integer not null. Publisher ID integer not null. Primary key of book ID comma publisher ID. You saw that? Composite primary key. Join table is giving this annotation. Next, create table book underscore ID, book name, primary key of book ID. Next, create table publisher, pub underscore ID, publisher name, primary key of publisher ID. Right? Now alter table, pub ID refers to publisher ID, book ID refers to book ID. It will add a constraint. Right? Now it is going to insert the data, insert into publisher, insert into book, insert into table underscore publisher, and it is getting the data. You saw here, Wings of Fire written by Abdul Kalam sir, 7 Habits written by Stephen Covey, 2 States written by Chetan Bhagat, book 2 is written by author 2 comma author 3, book 5 Nazir, book 6 Nazir. This is what toString I have done. This is how what I have done in the toString. Wings of Fire written by Abdul Kalam, 7 Habits, it is written by Stephen Covey, 2 States, Chetan Bhagat, book 2 is written by author 2 comma author 3, book 5 is written by Nazir, book 6 is written by Nazir. Now you see the query, how query it is executed. Select book underscore publisher, inner join publisher, and again it will inner join book and it will inner join publisher. It will only retrieving the data from multiple tables. Did I write any query here? No query I wrote. Derived method only going to book table. Derived query only going to publisher table. Derived query is only going to tbl underscore book, tbl underscore publisher, book underscore publisher. Did I write any query like this? No, right? Framework is giving me data like this. And if I go to my database, TBL underscore book, you're seeing that, right? Wings of Fire, 7 Habits, 2 States, Book 2, Book 5, Book 6. Publisher, Abdul Kalam, Stephen Covey, Chetan Bhagat, Author 2, Author 3, Nazir. Book underscore publisher, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 10, 12. One too many from book to publisher. One too many from publisher to book. You saw that relation? Everything is taken care by framework only, right? You saw the magic, guys? Did you saw the magic?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
When you need to write lot of code in JDBC to achieve this task, who worked on JDBC, they will come to know this. Who worked on JDBC, they'll know the pain of this. But JPA is completely solving my purpose. Everyone is clear as of now? So can I explain a two-string method, guys? Because I didn't explain you two-string method how I wrote. Right? Maybe I'll explain like this. Yes, this I am going to explain. So here book data, ID is equal to 10, name is equal to book data. If next book is coming, next line. Book ID, book name. Next, publishers. What is publishers? Set of publisher for that book. 2 publishers are there. If publishers is not equal to null, for loop, result is equal to publisher ID, publisher name, which is equal to 11 author 2, next line 12 author 3. I am printing the complete result here. So this is a complete thing. You understood the two-string method, how I wrote like this in a better readability format purpose. You saw that, right? If I write like this two-string, I can easily know that this is like this, this is like this, this is like this, this is like this, and this is like this. Clear?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Yeah. Now I'm going to write a code. I can apply derived query, right? Now I'm going to apply derived query. What is that I'm going to apply derived query is public I trouble of book. I don't want all the books. Find by in the book table. I'm going to have book name, right? I can write, right? String book name. Isn't it? I don't want all the books, only for a book which I gave a name. Still, it's a derived query, right? Is it a derived query or not?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes, because you are not searching
Correct.
based
Sir,
on
find
ID.
by, starting find by.
Find by is a starting is there and my property name. Return book DAO dot find by book name, which is equal to book name. That's it. I can go to this where I'm going to write person service dot find by book name. What book name I'm looking is so this is a book name I'm writing. I'm taking I trouble of book books list is equal to and I'm going to print book list. Right? And I'm going to write this particular query. I want only book data to still I'm not going to write any query also. I'm not interested to write any query for that actually. Find by book name. So which is equal to saw that I got the output right. Did I write any query? No. Framework is written query for me. Now will you agree derived method still I can use to retrieve the data from multiple tables? Where if I use what exactly I need to use? Associations. If I write associations, automatically it will give the data. I need to use associations internally. Will you agree with my point, guys? Everyone is clear? So the limitations of derived methods, what I am going to is the first limitation. I cannot say that it's a real limitations. If we want to retrieve the data from multiple tables, we cannot achieve. No, we can achieve. But you need to write those data with associations. If you don't write associations, you cannot achieve. You're clear, guys, everyone?
Yes, sir. In between those tables, acting many to many relationships only possible.
Correct. Correct. No, any association, one to many, one to one, many to one, many to many. If you have association, if JPA knows the relation, then it will internally create that. But if you are only keeping the relations in the database side, you're not keeping any relations on the Java side, derived methods will not be useful for that. That's the point we can say that. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Any other things? Guys, give me 1 minute, guys. I'll be back in 1. Yes, everyone is clear, right, so far? Any other questions before I proceed further? As of now.
One question, Vijay, can you explain once more about mapped by?
I told 3 times till now. You joined late
No.
because today only again the same question mapped by asked. Actually, I explained that. Again, you want me to explain? Okay, I'll do that. Okay. I hope you maybe I'm thinking that you joined late. Okay, maybe if I'm thinking if my assumption is wrong. Okay. So mapped
No,
by is
I have
nothing but
not joined the late, but I was on the call. That's why.
okay. Kindly please make sure that when you attend this class, don't attend any other things. Okay. It's not a practice, best practice also. Please don't mind. Okay. Sir,
Okay.
my network is not correct. I'm having a call. Can you teach me again? This is not a right practice. There are 45 participants are there in the class. Okay. Kindly when you are attending this class 9 to 10 is blocked for me. You need to make sure that you should not attend any classes or anything in this particular time. Kindly,
Sure.
it's my lost. I mean, I'm sorry, please. I'm really apologize by saying these harsh words. I'm little bit aggressive towards to teaching and little bit aggressive towards the principal. Okay, please don't mind. So mapped by is nothing but I already defined the relationship here. Like book is having many to many, where mapping table is book underscore publisher, and cascade type is all, fetch type is eager, and there is a join table is book underscore publisher, join column is book ID, refers to book underscore ID, inverse join column is publisher ID, refers to publisher ID, so that it is going to have this particular join table. The same relation applies from publisher to book also. The same relation. It is going to apply from publisher to book also. That I can write mapped by. Mapped by is nothing but already the relationship is defined on this property. The same property you can use to define a relation from book to publisher. That is the reason of mapped by. Clear?
Yeah.
Thank you. Any other questions by anyone so far? As of now, everyone is clear, right? Okay. Now, what I am going to do is I'll go to the next point is, which is nothing but named query. So what are the other limitations here? Maybe my other limitations are if you want to fetch few columns, not all columns in a table. If you want to fetch few columns, not all columns in a table, then we cannot achieve it all. Okay. What do you mean by fetching few columns? Means, for example, I have a table with 20 columns, but I need only 1 or 2 columns. By default, derived query is giving all the columns. By default, derived query is giving all the columns. If you want to fetch few columns, you can go with named query. And if you want to go with aggregating functions, if you want to go with aggregating functions, you can use, if you want to go with aggregating functions, by default, you should use, by default, if you want to go with aggregating functions, you can make use of by default, when you want to apply aggregating functions, you need to make sure that by default aggregating functions we're writing derived query. I mean, you need to make use of named query only. So in these cases, you need to write a named query. Now my point is, I'm going to take care of about named query. So what is the named query? What is that? I'm going to explain. Okay. By default, named query is nothing but we need to write a custom query. Means developer only is going to write a query. Okay. Named query is nothing but developer is going to write a custom query and writing name to that particular query. Okay. First of all, why we need to write a custom query and why we need to write a name to that particular query? That is called as named query. Okay. First of all, writing a custom query and writing the name to that query. Why we need to write? To have these limitations like, sir, I need to retrieve the data from multiple tables where I need to retrieve the data from multiple tables, but I don't have associations. Only I have database relations at the database side, but I have not defined that from Java side. That is called as, if you want to retrieve the data from multiple tables, you need to write a named query. You need to write a query, right? In that case, when you will write a query, if the relationships is only on the database side, if the relationship is not there on the JPS side, okay, if the relationship is only on the database side and the relation is not on the data, I mean, if the relationship is only database side, not JPS side, you need to write a query and you want only few column names, you need to write a query and your business expression is very lengthy. I need to retrieve the data using 5 columns, 6 columns or 7 columns. You need to write a query. If you want to write aggregating functions, you need to write a query. In any of these situations, you need to write a query. So in any situations, if you want to write a custom query and writing name to this particular custom query, okay, by default, we need, if you want to write a custom query and writing this particular name to that custom query, that is called as named query. That is called as a named query. Okay. As part of named query, by default, as part of CRUD repository, what we have done, guys, we didn't write any abstract method. We didn't write any implementation, right? CRUD repository. In CRUD repository, did we write any abstract method? Maybe let me go to ticket booking application. Okay. Did we write anything inside the DAO? Nothing, right? No abstract method, no implementations. But this is a derived query, right? Am I right? But in case of derived query, developer will write only abstract method, framework will implement. In case of derived query, developer will write abstract method, framework will implement. In case of named query, developer need to write abstract method and developer need to implement. Completely developer, framework will not do anything. Abstract method is at interface layer and implementation is at a POJO class. Implementation is at a POJO class. Okay. By default, named query means developer need to write a query. Developer need to write a query. for a custom implementation. And how he need to write? He need to write an abstract method. I need to write implementation. Both abstract method as well as implementation to be written by the developer. Abstract method is at interface layer. Implementation is at a POJO class, model class, entity class. That is called as a named query. Isn't it? Are you guys clear on named query? Everyone is clear on named query introduction part, guys, if you don't mind?
Yes.
Okay. Now we are going to write a simple named query here. Okay. Now let me, what I will do is derived methods. I'm going to copy paste because I'll write in a new project so that it will be easy for you, right? So where we are going to write named query. And before that, I will zip the code. I'm going to write zip the code. Let me share you the code because I have not shared yesterday code, right, guys? As of now, I have not shared the code yesterday, right? Today, I'm going to
Yes.
share the code. Meanwhile, it is going to copy actually. Let me. Derived method with many to many. Derived with many to many. I'm sharing this code. Also, let me share here this many to many running notes also, guys. I'm sorry, I missed that. Derived method. Running notes of these two things. Yes. I've shared the code till now, whatever I typed. Okay, right. Now I'm going to, yes, meanwhile, my project is open for many to many. Yes, I'm having a named query. By default, as part of named query, we are going to write that. Okay. Now what I want to write a named query is, let me go to %DAO. So named query, I'm going to my DAO, where I'm going to write %DAO. Inside %DAO, I'm going to write named query section. Okay. What is as part of named query? What we need to do here? Abstract method at a DAO layer and implementation at a model layer, right? So where we are going to write a named query, inside that something like I'm going to write here something like this abstract method, right? It is not a derived query. Why we can say that it's not a derived query? How we can say that this is not a derived query? How we can say
Find
that?
by.
Correct. Exactly. A method name which stands with find by, get by, read by, query by. All these are derived query one, right? So give data by name, which is some other word. Anything I can write here. It is not a derived query. Public list of person, give data by name, string first name. Now let me go to person. Here I need to write named query section. Named query section. Here I am going to write named query section. Okay. So what I am going to write named query section is nothing but here. Here I am going to write named queries. I'm going to explain you. Named query. So this is the code. Named queries is annotation where we can write number of named queries. Comma we can write, okay. And named query 2, like that we can write. And comma where we can write named query 3. Something like we are going to write named query 1, named query 2, named query 3. Like that we can write, okay. Named queries value is equal to n number of named queries I am going to write. Now how I can create here by default. We are getting error here. Same, why we got error here? Annotation cannot be resolved. Named queries correct only, right? Okay, there's a problem here. At the rate of named queries, at the rate of named query, so that's it, right? Import some strange thing is happening here. One second. It is indirectly referenced from one second, guys. In person.java, I'm closing everything. I'm closing everything. I can write here at the rate of named queries value is equal to, right. Here I'm going to write named query 1, which is equal to at the rate of named query, where by default name is equal to person dot give data by name. There's a name, comma, value is equal to, sorry, not value is equal, query is equal to. This is a query. We are going to write, this is a query. Whenever we write named query, this is having a problem, right? Somehow there's a compilation issue, sir. I think it's a purely, you need to recompile. Maybe it's not a problem here, but I'll explain this. Okay. So named queries value with the named query, but in that case, you need to write person dot give data by name, whatever we gave in person DAO. Person dot give data by name, same name it should match, class name dot method name. Class name dot method name, person dot give data by name, query is equal to, this is the query you want to execute. Select P from person P, where P dot first name is equal to question mark 1. This is a query, it should be executed. Select P from person P, where P dot first name is equal to question mark 1. This is the query whenever we execute the code. Okay. Something like we need to.
Why there it is question mark 1?
It's an input parameter, right? Question mark 1 is input parameter, right? In the derived query also we wrote the same, right? I mean, we didn't write a query. By default, question mark is came right in the derived query.
Question mark is I'm asking about one
parameter, one input parameter. Okay. By default, only one input parameter. What is my name? Give data by name. Someone will give first name input, right? That's why question mark 1. If two parameters are there, question mark 2. Question mark 1, comma question mark 2.
Okay.
How many input parameters are there? That many question marks we are going to have.
Okay.
Okay. Right. So let me compile.
One real question, sir.
Please.
So that name equal to person dot data by name, that person is this particular file or person?
This colon. No, person only. This file. I mean, because as part of named query, abstract method is a DAO. Implementation it person model layer.
Okay.
You need to go to person class. Inside person model layer, I need to write this code. Okay. Understand?
Understand. So the when you say person that give data by name, that give data by name is actually defined in the DAO layer, right? So
it's a method name.
Yeah. So it automatically refers to that person DAO layer
correct.
method.
By default, it will go to person. First of all, I'll call in person service. Okay. Let me go in person service. I'll write this method, right? In person service.
Okay.
What I'm going to write here, I'm saying that here, return person DAO dot give data by name, first name. I'll call DAO. DAO will call person dot give first.
Yeah.
In this combination, it will go there. It will trigger this query.
Understood.
Yes. Any questions so far? Okay, I need to recompile these. Okay, maybe some problem is here. What is that it's telling? It's the long Java is indirectly different from required class file. I think everything is good only. It should be some compilation. I mean, maybe I need to take care of the pom.xml. I'm taking that Java 8. Let me change to Java 11 also. It's a purely some compilation issue. I'll take Java 11. Okay, still error is not gone. Let me remove this person. We'll see how to do that. I'm going to create new class person. So let me copy paste this. Okay. Something I'm going to remove this. It's a strange problem. Com dot narration dot okay guys, maybe I'll look for this problem. I think some problem with the compilation, some settings. Okay, I look for this and tomorrow I will show you the execution. Okay, I'll stop for today and we'll continue tomorrow. Thanks everyone for today. Have a great day.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Recording stopped.